Welcome to We the People, a new birth of freedom. Thanks for stopping by, and please feel free to subscribe, tell your friends, your neighbors, whoever, and leave your comments below. I'll get back to you. The 18th century saw a group of people who became defined as fugitives and outlaws. They became fugitives and outlaws to the King of Britain. They had expressed in 25 complaints why they believed that the king's laws and legislation and policies and statutes, the king's rule, they expressed why his rule and reign interfered with their lives, their liberty, and their pursuit of happiness. And when they had exercised and exhausted their freedom of speech, their freedom to address the tyranny, the despotic rule of the king, when their speech could no longer do the job, they said, okay, let's leave. Let's go to a new continent. Let's go somewhere. We want to live as free people. So upon their departure, the king viewed them as fugitives and outlaws. Why? Because they were breaking his laws. They were breaking his policy, his politics. They didn't care. They wanted to be free. So the 18th century, fast forward, saw the beginning of a new nation. 13 colonies, United States of America. It also gives witness to an over 8-year battle for independence. You see, liberty's foundation and its roots are grounded in independence. You can't live as a free people. You can't exist as a free nation without independence. That's why those that are trying to push the United States toward globalism and socialism, that's not freedom. That's the highest form of manipulation and tyranny. Our founding fathers did not establish this nation based on globalism, nor was their vision to be interpreted as globalism or socialism. It was founded upon independence. Independence as a nation and independence as individual citizens of that nation. We the people are made up of individual, independent citizens of this nation. We are free to live our life, express our liberty, and our pursuit of happiness as we see it, as long as it does not violate somebody else's life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. That's why we do have political laws. So when the lawbreakers have no respect for another person's life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, there are laws of prosecution. Nevertheless, the king viewed them as fugitives and outlaws, but they subscribed to a higher law, the law of nature and nature's God, a moral law. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is founded upon and rooted in the laws of nature and nature's God. Politics does not define it. Politics does not legislate it. It pre-exists all political inference. It's intrinsic. We're born with it. It's absolute. It's absolute in the context of as long as we maintain that intrinsic law within us, politics can't touch it. And if ever there was a time to view our founding documents, our Charter of Liberty, the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, if ever there was a time to see the power and the prophetic emphasis of those founding documents, it's now in the 21st century. Because they foretold the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, and the Bill of Rights foretold of the 21st century that we're living in. If ever the profundity and the power of those words needs to be held on to, it's now. Because tyrants are raising up everywhere. They're pushing globalism, socialism, fascism, communism, Nazism, white supremacy, everything that's evil and against the laws of nature and nature's God. I'm not talking about a religion. Our founding fathers, when they talked about nature's God, divine providence, the King of Kings, when they talked about that, they were not expressing that in the context of religion. Because the Creator never started a religion. He's a creator. They were deists who believed in a creator. But they didn't believe in religious authority that interfered with life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. They didn't believe in the legalism that goes with religion. They saw that out of the Catholic Church, the Anglican Church, and every other church in existence of that day, Methodism and all of them. They understood that legalism saturated their religious text and context. But that's not life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's whether it be a politician, a minister, a king, a dictator, whoever. They're all trying to manipulate the people under their rule to subject them to their agendas, their personal agendas. That's not life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It's like saying, I want everybody to drive a Chevy. Well, not everybody likes Chevys. Not everybody's going to drive a Chevy. So if ever there was a time to hold on to and support and defend and protect our founding documents, it's now, because they foretold of this day, for such a time as this. So, the Second Amendment. Well, let's replace it. Let's repeal it. You can't. Oh, you can do it politically, but you can't morally, and you can't according to our founding documents. You can't do it. I know they argue Article 5 of the Constitution that says that amendments can be repealed, but that is not talking about gutting the first 10 amendments. Those are absolute, unmovable, inalienable rights. You see, if Article 5 of the Constitution was talking about repealing the first, second, third, fourth, right on up to the 10 amendments, and even the slavery amendment, then that would be antithetical to the whole concept of the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, and the Bill of Rights. When the Second Amendment concludes, they concluded it with some very absolute words. Shall not be infringed. Shall not be infringed. That's not a suggestion. That's not a maybe they shall not be infringed. Anybody that knows legalese, when it says shall not, that's absolute. You can't violate it. Now, I realize that our founding fathers talked about any of the amendments can be changed or modified, but not changed or modified to gut them out, to remove them from the whole context of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. They can be changed to better understand life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. They can be modified to expound further on their connection to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But they cannot be gutted out. They cannot be replaced or removed. You can't do it. If you can gut the Second Amendment, you can gut the First Amendment, and then you've got people telling you what to say, how to say it, and they're trying to do that. This gender X society that we live in, they don't want to use the words he, she, her, him. See, they're trying to control language. They're redefining language to make it generic. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is not generic. They can come up with all kind of imaginative, crazy, insane definitions. It don't make it true. It don't make it real. You're either a man or you're a woman. Oh, you can call yourself gay if you want to. You can call yourself a lesbian if you want to. But you're either a man or a woman. You're not generic. You're not just X. No, don't work that way. But if they can gut the Second Amendment, then they can gut the First Amendment, And they can get the third, fourth, fifth, sixth. They can change the whole system and throw it into global chaos under tyrannical rule, over totalitarian rule. That's what they want. And all these politicians saying, well, if we become president, we're going to give executive order, we're going to restrict, and we're going to do this to the Second Amendment. Go ahead, try it. Go ahead. Go ahead, try it. See how far you get. It's strange, though, that those same politicians, they don't mind being surrounded by Secret Service that protects them with guns, the military that protects them. In fact, as president or vice president of the United States, they get that care the rest of their life. They don't mind that, but they don't want you to have it. So if ever there was a time, and this is the real point I want to make in this video today, and we'll continue on this thought, but if there was a time to grasp, to hold on to understand, to support, defend, and protect our Charter of Liberty, the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, it's the time that we're living in. We're under the threat of tyranny, terrorism, every kind of evil that you can imagine is erupting in this world. If ever we need the Second Amendment, it's now. Until next time, be a true American, and God bless you.